It's early March, Green Bay, and there are still piles of snow at the edge of Lambeau Field. They sit here in the cold sun and slowly melt away. This is the home of the Green Bay Packers, Lambeau Field. It has been their home since 1957, when it was dedicated by then Vice President Richard Nixon. It was expanded considerably from 2000 to 2003, with $295 million poured into this stadium. This is obviously not a game day, and the stadium stands alone and immense in the vast parking lot. Two statues stand at the main entrance. This is Curly Lambeau, first coach of the Packers, and like some first-coming prophet, he points to his successor in greatness, Vince Lombardi. Both men won their share of national championships, Lombardi winning the first couple of Super Bowls. Upon entering the atrium of Lambeau Field, you find the Packers gift shop. You sure see enough hats and shirts like these here in Wisconsin. And here at the gift shop, you get a sense of your options. All the different ways to display that trademark G. Even in the gift shop, you're not far from the great men in yellow and green. Multiple TVs play video homages to great events in Packer history. Let's relive for a moment the thrill of victory. The agony of defeat being politely forgotten. Ah, the atrium is so quiet on a day like this. No televisions. But facing you as you walk in are larger-than-life great men. Ben Hudson, Tony Canadillo, Bart Starr. Household names. To learn more about great men and events, we visited the Packers Hall of Fame, conveniently located inside Lambeau Field. Packers fans are famous as cheeseheads, and I guess I've always imagined that the name Packers goes back to Cheese Packers. But actually their first sponsorship was from a couple of meatpacking outfits, and their name was eventually shortened in the press to just Packers. The team has a long history. They won plenty of championships before there was a Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is a commercial juggernaut. Its big Roman numerals dominate football history. One can be forgiven for not remembering the days of ignorance before the great day came into being. The Packers don't want you to forget that world. It's their glory time. And so the Packers Hall of Fame dedicates itself to letting you see this early football past, giving you the jerseys and the signed helmets of past players. Here is quarterback Bart Starr, looking visionary. Bart happens to be the hero quarterback for what is billed here at the Hall of Fame as the greatest game ever, the Ice Bowl in 1967 versus the Dallas Cowboys for the NFL championship. Now remember, this is before the Super Bowl. The weather was negative 13 degrees. The Packers won at the end. The scene of all this glory was Lambeau Field, or what was then known as City Stadium. Here is an aerial view of the stadium. Must be from around 1957 when it's being built. As I understand it, the current Lambeau Field simply incorporated this old stadium, expanding the seating and adding lots of modern conveniences, but that old City Stadium is still part of Lambeau Field. That makes this something of an old road-style stadium, working to preserve traces of the past. Here is a current view of the interior of the stadium. Here's a still picture. Note the American flags waving in the wind. If you look toward the end zone there, you can see the outlines of the older stadium, still present in the expansion. The bulldozing is to prepare the ground for some kind of new turf, but I love the pile of dirt with trashed metal pieces sticking out. Perhaps someday an archaeologist will excavate a sports stadium like this and find these sorts of remnants, layers of the sport's past. These are the simple seats of Lambeau Field. It's not easy to sit here on game day. Season tickets are sold out, and you'll pay a steep price even in a bad season. The ideal is to look down on the game from a box like this. Such luxury boxes line the upper reaches of the stadium. A catering company supplies food, and you can impress business partners. These boxes run from $3,000 to $107,000 per year, depending on size and placement. Believe it or not, there is a wait list. Most will only enter these boxes on a tour. To get to your corporate box, you walk down an aisle like this, and I can think of no better image for modern sports. Now you might prefer Bart Starr and his visionary game-winning glance, but the faceless corridor that serves as a conduit for very wealthy people is closer to the truth and closer to who we are becoming.